So let's start today with this. So the New York Yankees were, um, they went into Houston and, might I say, smacked the Houston Astros today. I guess this weekend. No, they didn't smack the Houston Astros, but it was very, very, I would say, pleasing to me to see the Astros go down in such embarrassing fashion to the Yankees, giving up three in the first three games, giving up three late game leads to the Yankees. And here's the thing. Here's the things that I noticed, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because I think the easy takeaways would be that adding Juan Soto to the lineup definitely makes it better. It does. Nobody's denying that. But here are some of the things that I saw, right? The approach is different, right? Right now, they're leading Major League Baseball in pitches seen per at bat, right? Like they're swinging and missing less. They're putting the ball in play more. The power wasn't even necessarily there in the series, right? You had a homer from Stanton. Oswaldo Cabrera had two. Volpe had one. Juan Soto kind of snuck one out into the Crawford boxes. But this is not the big banging Yankees that we've seen in years past. The approach just seemed a little bit different. So, Alfred, what was your impression from that series this weekend? And would you say, let's phrase it this way. Are you more impressed with the Yankees, or are you more disappointed in the Houston Astros?
I think I'm more impressed with the Yankees, especially the way that game one went. Nestor Cortez did not pitch a good game. I know all the Yankee fans are praising Juan Soto right now because that throw practically saved that game.
Sure did.
But no, I'm not more disappointed in the Astros. The Astros, of course, were the favorite in all those games. You know, Garrett Cole is out right now, and he's not going to be around for a while. So you would think the pitching rotation would suffer, but surprisingly, they pulled it out. And you know, the Houston Astros that we've come to know over, you know, the last couple of years, they're like the cream of the crop in the American League, for lack of a better term. So for the Yankees to play a 4-game series and take all 4 games from them, especially the Yankees being a team where pitching is a main concern. Nobody's concerned about the Yankee offense. It's the Yankee pitching that's always been the Achilles heel, dating back to even the dynasty from '96 to 2001.
Yeah.
In that reign of terror that you guys had. So,
Right.
I was very surprised that they were able to sweep, not only just sweep them, but take that series as well. I would have predicted a split, if anything, but I guess it's revenge for 2017.
Yeah, this dates back now. This is 7 straight. If you date back to last year, this is 7 straight wins for the Yankees against Houston. I don't know. I don't remember if that stat was just in Houston or if that just dates back to just wins total against the Astros. But listen, the Astros have been a thorn in the Yankees side for years now, right? And pretty much a thorn in everybody's side, right? There's a reason why the Astros have been to 7 straight ALCSs. It's because they've done such a great job of building their teams. Like I'll even pull up their lineup or their roster. Like if you just see this, like most of these guys, Alfred, are homegrown guys, right? Like Altuve is homegrown. Yordan Alvarez is their guy. Bregman's their guy. Kyle Tucker is their guy. Like all but really one in this lineup, the one being Jose Abreu, that entire lineup is made up of their homegrown talent. Now, and even in this rotation, right? Everybody's homegrown except for Verlander. Like they've just done such an incredible job of developing talent with that roster. It really is incredible. And it shows you how this can not only be, you know, how it's been dominant for them recently, but how it can be sustainable going into the future.
Well, and like you said, a lot of those guys are homegrown, and not just homegrown, but a lot of them have been heroes. Altuve, very important to that franchise since he got there. Alvarez has been a home run smasher. Even Jeremy Pena, World Series hero when nobody expected it.
Yeah.
So I it's too early to get to worry about it. Oh, is Houston not going to make the postseason?
Oh yeah, right.
They're gonna be just fine. I just think that the Yankees just came out the gates hot. But like you said, the Yankees approach different. Through 4 games, they've seen more pitches than anybody else. Very, very, very surprising given that lineup and the firepower it has. But
Yeah. Yeah, and this lineup right here is perhaps maybe just a bit outdated. Obviously, DJ LeMahieu is on the injured list, and Oswaldo Cabrera has really been stepping into that role. And by the way, I think when most people, originally, because the Yankees had made a trade the day before opening day, they traded for John Birdie from the Miami Marlins. They gave up. It was a 3-team trade. They gave up one of their prospects. They gave up catcher Ben Rortvedt to Tampa, and the prospect ended up going to Miami. Whatever, it was a 3-team trade with Miami, the Rays, and the Yankees, which netted them John Birdie. And I think most Yankee fans were just like, all right, let's go. John Birdie is going to start at third base while LeMahieu is on the injured list. But then all of a sudden, you see Oswaldo Cabrera just comes out of nowhere and starts ripping the ever-loving piss out of the baseball. He just does. Like, it was unbelievable how much his approach had changed. And not only just like doing it with the bat, but doing it in a lot of clutch situations, late in games, late game homers, playing good defense, all of that stuff. Oswaldo Cabrera has been filling out that spot really, really nicely. And I will say this, because one of the things you said before, Nestor Cortez didn't have a great outing. In his defense, right? Nestor Cortez had a very bad first inning, right? Like that's the thing is like when it comes to a lot of these starts, like you kind of have to dig deep a little bit. Nestor Cortez had a bad first inning, bad first batter of the second inning, right? He gave up that homer to Jake Myers in the first game, but was pretty much lights out the entire game after that. I was actually fairly impressed. I mean, Marcus Stroman put up a fairly good start. Carlos Rodon got himself into a bunch of trouble in game 2, but was able to work out of it pretty much every time. So I was actually pretty pleased with the pitching performances. And one of the things that I really want to highlight as well, and there's actually 2 things I want to highlight. First of all, Aaron Judge has had a terrible season to start, right? Aaron Judge really has not gotten going yet. I don't think anybody's really worried about whether or not he's going to get going, but this is what the Yankees did to the Astros, and Aaron Judge was not on his game at all, right? Aaron Judge had, was suffering, going through an injury through spring training, missed a bunch of time in spring training. It might take him a couple more weeks to get him back up to speed, but the other thing I want to point out, too, is that the Yankee bullpen had 15 and a third innings of work and didn't give up a single run. Like, it is against a very good Houston Astros lineup. I'm just, listen, I as a Yankee fan, Alfred, I'm just, like, I'm over the moon. Like, this was, like, best case scenario for me from with the Yankees sweeping the Astros. It was just, like, how do you view like obviously it's very, very early, right? But do you view the Yankees, because we didn't have you on the show when we were doing previews? Does this series against the Astros differ your opinion of the Yankees, or the Astros for that matter, from what you had preseason? Right? Like, does this change your mind on either one of those teams?
while I'm shocked that the Yankees swept the Astros, my opinion doesn't change because it's too early to tell.
Yeah,
Small sample size. There's still 158 games remaining for each team.
that's right.
So to know, I've seen it all through social media all over the weekend. Fans jumping up and down, ready to throw a World Series victory parade because they 4-0'd the Astros. I mean, it's a little premature. It's a long season. We all know that crunch time in baseball is the dog days of summer, which we are nowhere near yet. So, my opinion doesn't change on either way. Now, if this was a conversation we'd be having in August, early September, late July, I might have I might be sitting here with a different thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's It's interesting. So where did you? So I don't know. Where did you have the Yankees preseason?
I think that preseason, I said they were going to get a wild card spot. I think they were going to come in second in the AL East behind Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that was primarily the universal opinion, right? And Baltimore looks good so far too. Granted, they were playing the Angels in Baltimore, so there. I think there might be a little bit of a difference in competition there. But truth be told, listen, that's going to be a crazy division. I think that that's going to be a real thing.